Hey everybody, welcome back to Joshgetslost. Last time we made this amazing magical temple, and today we're going to work on beautifying this courtyard with a nice feature or two that I think will really make this look a lot less barren, and yeah, I think it'll look pretty nice. So let me get started. I got some resources to collect. If you remember last time, we also had the interior here where this magical curtain is sort of dividing this between a pristine temple of days gone past and the ruins and decay of that temple front that you see out there. So we're going to be working on this, but first I got to gather some materials. Thankfully, some of these are already in my storage, but a few of them, like these cherry leaves, which I need a shulker and a half of, I do not have. But at least I have a beautiful backdrop to work in. You can see the dragon there off in the distance. It's really nice when you're working on something and you've created some massive builds. Just being able to look up in the distance and see them I think is always awesome. It just reminds you of like where your hard work and effort can pay off, where your ideas can go if you allow them to really set in, and you work on them and you tweak them and edit them as needed to make it just be the best they possibly can be. And then you got to look up and see it in the distance in your Minecraft world. I think it's pretty cool. Whew. These are a lot of leaves. Thankfully, cherry trees, I feel like they're 90% leaves. Like, they have so many leaves per actual tree that we may be a lot faster done with this than I originally imagined. Hope you guys are doing well. If you noticed, projects have been a little slower on my YouTube channel. Part of that is just because of the size of some of my builds, like the temple and the dragon that you see, which were my last two episodes. But also, some of it's just life. Travel. I went to a conference early this fall and also did a week of vacation while I was away. Had a lot of fun with the family. Always important to make sure your real life is taken care of, and make sure that you're making memories in the real world with your family, as well as making memories in Minecraft. That's always fun as well, but definitely want to make sure that happens as well. The other part of it is simply, I'll talk about this maybe a little later as well, that our server is still in 120.4, which means it came out and the season opened kind of right, literally like a few days before the spring update was released. So that means now, it being fall 2025, we've had the spring update, the summer update, which with the happy gas, and the fall update with copper that just came out a week or two ago. All of those have happened, and we don't have any of the features yet on the server, which means there's a lot of ideas in my head, but I have to go, hey, I can't do that till I get this feature. Or in some cases, things like redstone, there's a few issues. I know even people such as Tango Tech on the Hermitcraft server ran into some of his mini games where some of the features from the summer update actually with some hitboxes and other things changed and messed up some stuff for mini games. So definitely want to keep that in mind and try to delay some of those features as long as possible to make full use of them. But for now, I've got more cherry leaves to collect, and then I'm going to start building. All right, this is a custom tree that I spent a good bit of time creating in a flat world and then have brought over. I actually want to kind of use this design again. I really like how it turned out for a bigger size tree in the world. One of the things that I always try to keep in mind as I've done only a few custom trees, but especially with this one that I definitely would not have done when I was a younger Minecrafter is B00, who's one of the best Minecraft builders on the planet, reminded everyone that one of the key things about trees is that birds can fly through them without getting stuck, which means there's a lot more airspace than you think in most trees, in between branches, in between leaves. And so just being aware of that to create space, create open air pockets is an important thing. And I went with cherry. I wanted this whole courtyard to sort of have a magical vibe. I wanted the particles, of course, to be coming down, which I think is good. And of course, we've got cherry petals, which I'll add to it as well. But I used tuff and some acacia wood actually on the outside, along with the spruce and oak that's mixed in as well. Because of course, tree bark, as you guys know, has quite a bit of gray in it. So I wanted to kind of pull that out. And I thought the gray would kind of blend it in a little with the background here and add a light. I feel like there was a creeper or something waiting for me one of the times when I was building and I hadn't slept in a while. But let's get an aerial look over here. You can see all the different kind of trees and pockets that are jutting out here. I tried to kind of have like a decaying look to it for a bit with some like pale oak leaves mixed in and sort of kind of doing that design, and it didn't turn out very well. So I went with the all cherry leaves. I think that turned out really well. I'd love to make a green version of this as well. So definitely let me know what you think of the tree. I think it looks super nice, and I am very excited to have it here in the courtyard. It's a nice sizable counterpart to what we've got going on with this ginormous temple and magic. And now I'm working on the next thing here, which is I'm going to put a pond in. I've always wanted to put some water features here. So all of this, I sort of knew a lot of this flat grass was always just temporary. So I'm kind of getting a little bit of a winding circular shape here that I can be able to use for a pond. I just feel like a pond with some water going into it is just one of those features I think that really in front of the tree here would just really kind of make this a peaceful place. Almost where if you weren't going in to play the game, you just kind of want to chill in this courtyard and just, soak in the vibes. I feel like that's kind of one of the things that I love doing. And hello, you want to come soak in the vibes? No. How about you die? One of the things I did this season with my axe was I put Smite 5 on my axe so I could kill mobs a little easier and put sharpness on my sword. So in case you wondered why I was using my axe there. All right, I think I just need 2 of those there. I can start bridging off of that to fill in the layers. We're going to use some of this mangrove root, which is mud plus mangrove. Let me get something on my hotbar here to be able to turn these corners a little easier, plus have a little extra block going. We do want to mix in some regular mud as well. We'll just kind of see how much I have, because I don't have an endless supply of packed mud, and I don't actually know 100% where a mangrove swamp is on this side of the server. I'd have to go all the way back to my base on the other part of the server that's here. So, and I don't really want to do that. I'm in building mode. I'm in landscaping terraforming mode, and I don't want to break that up to go chop mangrove trees, which are also the literal worst trees to chop. So here we go. We're gonna mix in some mud, mix in the mangrove roots. Oh, I was doing that little grass walk underneath, and then I realized I could do that. All right. With shaders, I've made a few more changes, but let's take a look at all of them. You can definitely see the sun streaming in here. We've got a few things. Let me turn these things off. Of course, chat is always going on. Sometimes I remember to turn the chat off, and sometimes I leave it on. So if you see people popping up in chat from the server, it is what it is. So here we go. We've got our pond. We've got a waterfall cascading down into it with the rushing white water there. We've got some, I want to say papyrus, sugarcane growing there. We've got this little kind of like grove statue thing, which I think fits in well with Zelda vibes. Of course, an apple being left there. I don't love the totem there. It looks a little goofy from far away. I will admit it's not my favorite thing, but I think what would ideally be there is a rusted copper golem, one of the statues that you can make now. But again, don't have that yet in this world. So the totem is taking its place for now, but there we go. Let's check out the inside here. We got some upgrades to make. I want to make this seem more magical. And I think one of the ways to do that is by adding lots of particle effects with different things in Minecraft that give us particles in order to make, as you approach this barrier and go through, not through the ground, through the opening, to make it seem more magical. So here we're going to get some ender chests. Thankfully, all the obsidian I'm collecting whenever I travel back here through the end portal is paying off. And as we approach here now, you can see the purple sparkles coming up from the ground. And so what I think we want to do is kind of spread that out, adjust it along some of the sides here. I don't want them to be too visible, so I'm kind of mostly trying to avoid putting them right into the glass, although I just did one there and kind of don't really care. And then I'm going to hide them in there here with this dark gray wool that kind of goes well with the deep slate bricks that we've got. So we'll also add some false wool in as well, just to make it so it's not obvious where, 100% of the time the wool is matching up, the carpets are matching up to where the particles are. Give it a little asymmetry there. So let's put these in. Thankfully, I have lots of ender chests able to use. And now we're getting a little bit more of a full kind of vibes here. Might even stretch those out a bit down here in the middle as well. I'm liking that. I think we need some particles coming down from the top though. So let's work on some ideas for that. Okay. So I went and I got some more ender chests, and I put in them a little farther back as well, so that as you approach, you're getting those vibes even farther back than just right on top of the threshold of this doorway. There we go. I have tried to put some of these whatever they are, the flower spore blossoms. There we go. The spore flowers, whatever they're called, spore blossoms. I've tried to put a few of these up here. They are too tall. So I got to find somewhere maybe a little lower to put them in order to get those particles to show. But I think that will just add to... I hate these stupid endermites. Yeet. All right, let's try this again. Say what you will about rockets. You never have a endermite show up and start hitting you after you use a rocket. Where can I put this that's not super obvious, but will also get some particles down to this main part of the floor? Here we go. We'll put it as far over as possible there. Let's put the glass back. I don't remember which color glass I took. There we go. I was just middle clicking glass until I found the right pane color that worked. In case you wonder what was going on there. All right, let's see that. Okay, now we're getting some, and it goes all the way over here. All right, let's put one on this side too. I think we got a little bit of an overhang here we could hide it in. I'm really good with ender pearls if you can't tell. Really, really good. First try. Where can I tuck this in? Let's go right there. All right, let's see. We start getting some particles. Yeah, I think that works. I would love to have some of the firefly bushes, because I think at night they would be really cool around here, even on the outside with the particles. But again, don't have those yet. So that's some of the things in mind. This is my wish list that I keep talking about having. But yeah, we're getting a little bit more particles from the green. And you can kind of get those magic vibes as you walk through, that something is just different about this place. that it's not just an ordinary building with glass in the middle, but there's something special about it. Another thing that makes particles is pale oak leaves. And I'm kicking myself as I fly again over the stupid wall that I built. How many times I've flown above that, I don't know. But we're going to head over here to the, well, maybe, where the server is getting really laggy. I'm not sure what's going on here. Yikes, we are on PowerPoint. This could be bad. But pale oak leaves have gray. Remember, we are in the before the spring update, so regular leaves do not have the green particles, but pale oak leaves do have those gray particles that come down. You didn't actually see it because I cut it out, but I had to actually restart my whole Minecraft because the server locked up so much on me as I was getting over there. All right, let's try to figure out where we can add one of these and see how far it goes down. Will it go down through or will it stop at this first thing? I'm not really sure. I don't know 100% all the physics. I'm seeing green from the spore blossom, but over there, I'm not really seeing the gray. So maybe we need to add in some gray somewhere that would make sense. Maybe in like this decayed part over here. Which, now that I think about it, maybe I should have mixed in some more of these pale oak leaves kind of as dead bushes around the area. That could have been kind of cool. I am going to have to kind of build down off that so that way, let me sleep real quick. So that way it can actually float to the bottom, because if I just put those up on top of a block, they won't show. All right, let's bridge out. There are too many blocks in Minecraft and not enough spots in the inventory. I say as I keep asking for more and more features and complaining about them not being in this world yet. All right, let's get this kind of going over the edge and falling down. See if I can get above there. I might have to go back around and add some to the outside so it kind of makes sense that a bush would be dangling down and growing into the building, but we will. Good job. That was a great order to do that in. All right, let's try my Enderpearl skills. Oh, come on. Another Endermite? I'm having some kind of luck today with these Enderpearls. Almost makes me remember why I use rockets 90% of the time. Okay, back up here. Not showing you how many times it took me to get back up here. And just kind of adding the bushes around and making it make more sense why there's this bush thing growing down into the building. And are we going to get any of the gray? I might have seen a little. It's hard to tell. Yeah, let's just put one right there. There we go. That, guys. What do you think? Think that completes it? Leave a comment below if you like my new addition. Yeah, that looks kind of terrible. All right, I cannot wait to add a few more details in here. Maybe some candles or something. I thought about banners or art on the walls here. I don't want to distract too much from the stained glass because there is designs in there. But they also look a little bare, so I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do in there. Of course, we got the angel. We're going to put in some redstone here for an entrance to the playable dungeon at some point. Back outside now, and I am just kind of adding a bit more of these around. So anywhere you approach, just for consistency, the magic wall, you're going to get a little bit of the particle effect. It's going to be a lot more spread out here than it is in the temple. We'll just say for lore reasons, that's because the magic is strongest on the inside of the temple. Not because I didn't want to use 80,000 ender chests to fully line every single thing about this. Plus, if I, did moss carpet everywhere, I think it would be kind of obvious. Now we're back over on the far side behind the tree and the pond, adding a bit to our rocky hills as well. Just in case someone comes back here I can see a few particles. One thing I forgot to do, and now I see how much these sugarcane have grown, is add some string to at least a few of these so they're not all full height. A, I don't want to completely block the view back to the shrine, and B, if all the sugarcane's full height, it just reminds me of a farm and not of like a naturally occurring place you'd find. Ooh, that looks pretty nice over there. I really like how that water turned out. I would like more sounds over here, so maybe I can put some running water underneath this thing and let it come through. I'm trying to remember what the tricks are here. I know the water has to be moving. I did this once a long time ago. I built a bridge that had some water that was actually still underneath it, but I added some hidden water to make it sound like the brook was rushing the whole time. Yep, it immediately turned off. That's cool. I think we're gonna have to use a slab or carpet or something, maybe. Maybe do a leaf. Can we still? Okay, I'm hearing it a little bit. Do I have green? Because I don't want gray. There we go. The gray definitely sticks out a bit more than I want. Let's add some more maybe on this other side now. Where would be a good spot? This side, of course, has a bit more to play with. Drop that there. And I've locked myself in. Good job. Hey, that one actually worked out, except if I put a carpet on there, there's going to be a hole. So let's... Oh, maybe here in the corner. Corners are always a good spot to hide transparent blocks and things. Let's put a leaf and carpet over it. We can use the pail. There we go. Of course, I wish they would adapt regular moss to grow like the pale moss does up the sides of things. So I think that's a really cool feature for blending in. Okay, we've got our lily pads. Our boat is docked there. Not quite jumpable. What do you guys think? Here is our finished product. We've got our beautiful tree. We've got the waterfall, the little pond. I do need to go back through and change the lighting. I don't like the torch spam over there. I wish it needs something else to light it, but I'm not 100% sure yet what I want to do. Maybe lichen. I don't think I want to do just like hiding lights underneath moss. I think it's a little too obvious, but maybe we can use some lichen, or I mean, we could use some floating candles over the middle here, but it might not make sense for them to be as much over in that area, which is more kind of natural looking. But anyways, I'm Joshgetslost. This is probably my last video on this area for a little bit. But definitely, if you haven't checked out the previous one where I built this whole thing, definitely check it out. It's well worth your time. And also, I'm gonna be doing some stuff in my solo world with the new updates here. So look for those episodes as well. And hope you guys have a great time. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that, because that'd be awesome. All right, I will see you all later. Bye.